Hello, everybody. It's April the 6th, 2023, and it's time for a brand new episode of AMA Air. Coming up today, we're going to tell you about a brand new world record that we have to tell you about in control line speed.
And I'm going to tell you about my upcoming trip to SEFF.
And we've got the brand new Club of the Month for April to tell you about. All that and more coming up today on AMA Air. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to a brand new episode of AMA Air. My name is Matt Ruddick.
I'm Lee Ray.
Hello, Lee. How are you doing?
I'm good. Starting to make my plans.
How are those Astros doing for you?
They're doing great, man. They're doing great. They're under the radar. They got everybody fooled. Man, this baseball tactic of yours is crazy. How's your clock stuff going?
Hey, you know what? It's working for me. I got no problems.
Can we start a poll in the YouTube chat? I don't know if the StreamYard will let us do that, but I'd love to get viewers poll number on if they like the clock, the new baseball clock or not.
Everybody just put that in the chat. I don't know that I can start a poll from here, but you know what?
Team Lee, Team Matt, he's pro clock and I'm anti clock.
I think it's been wonderful to get through games in a brisk 2.5 hours. I'm just saying.
All right.
Well, thank you guys so much for joining us today on the show. We've got some cool stuff to talk to you about. Lee, let's just go ahead and kick it off and start in with what I think is one of the cooler stories that we've had on the show for a while. You know, things slow down during the colder months here, and we just heard about a new world record that was just recently ratified by the FAI. Why don't you tell us about it?
Oh, well, this just came across my news desk too. So
beep, 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 beep.
We're also apologizing now if we say his name right, but Alex Valashev, who is an F2A pilot for control line speed, it was ratified that he has the new world record at, and this is for English terms, 191.88 miles per hour. So I got to show you this clip, and hopefully we can show it without the audio because it's very annoying with mosquitoes. But just watch how fast this guy, if it'll process properly. Maybe the video is not going through.
YouTube appears to be malfunctioning.
You know, I think you got to get an award too. I know you can't even see the plane. I don't know if anybody's in the chat room who's ever seen this live. But it's one thing for me to do control line with the little like Cox PT-19 that I have that's just going around, slowly. I don't know how you stand up after this, but enough of that. Alex, congratulations. This is actually the world record run right there, 191 miles an hour for the U metric people out there. That's 308.8 kilometers an hour. And also, go ahead.
I was going to say, and that happened back in August is when that was set. The FAI just ratified all of that, and it's all now official. I was going to mention, because I've actually been up close and personal with some control line speed runs here at the Nats, and it's incredibly fascinating to watch. It's mesmerizing. It's also terrifying. To give you guys some context, so I, for many years now, have photographed motorsports, and specifically the Indy 500. And I'm up close to the track, just mere yards away from the actual race course. And that can get your adrenaline pumping, being that close and trying to photograph these things. Well, I've also been out trying to photograph these control line speed runs. It's way scarier than anything else that I've shot. I'm not kidding.
He's not wearing a helmet, but everybody else should be in body armor. You gotta trust those lines.
Yeah, the pilot's in the safest spot.
Yeah. So, but I just want to say that he won in the World Champions, the F2A Senior. But you know what? It's great to hear these stories. His son Ivan won in the World Champions for F2A Junior. So yes. Congratulations to both of you guys for the final records here. But I want to touch on this, Victor. You talked about dynamic soaring. You know what? Thank you for the comment, because we were mentioning that, and we will bring that to the next show to talk about the new speed record for that. I don't know it offhand, so I'm not going to throw myself under the bus yet. But you know what? We'll touch upon that and add it to the show.
Yeah, I appreciate that comment as well. Well, again, congratulations to Alexander Valashev for setting that new world record. Incredible accomplishment, and we'll see what kind of speeds they bring to the Nats later on this year. Speaking of the Nats, we do have a little bit of news we wanted to kind of let everybody know. You may have seen some changes to some of our Nats branding that we've been putting out on social media and on our website, specifically with regards to the logo for this year's Nats. You may have seen an addition, and that is the addition of Dubro, because Dubro has signed on to become a diamond level sponsor for this year's National Air Modeling Championships. It is now the National Air Modeling Championships presented by Dubro, and we want to really extend our thanks and appreciation to the amazing folks over at Dubro for signing on to become a sponsor of this year's Nats. It's such a long time company from this hobby that has done so much over the years and supported the hobby so much over the years, as well as the AMA. It's a perfect fit, and we're so happy that they've come on board.
Yeah, and I want to point out that for those of you who are watching, we have Dubro as the new diamond sponsor on our swag, our Nat swag. So head over to the AMA shop and purchase your swag. And I think until the end of this month, isn't there a 15% discount on our store?
I think you might be right. I don't have that information in front of me.
I will get on it.
I should have that information, and I don't.
That's okay.
I'm sorry.
It went out in an email. So but hey, again, thanks to Dubro. I love that we have their logo on there. And if you're coming to Nats, I highly encourage you to grab some of the Nats official wear, cups, mugs, and so forth, and bring it out with you. I'll be getting my shirt to come out for Nats when I compete in soaring.
Absolutely. Lee, I'm going to turn this one over to you because I know you're going to be involved in this tomorrow. There's a live stream that's happening from somebody who's going to be also participating in this year's Nats.
I have no idea who you're talking about.
You don't know who I'm talking about?
Is this that Chris guy that keeps calling?
Sort of.
Oh, it's Chris. It's Chris Wolfe. Love this guy, Chris Wolfe. Hello, guys. This guy is putting together an incredible first-time Nats scale competition project. This B58 Hustler. If you haven't been watching his channel on Facebook and on YouTube, please do so. We had a great show a couple of weeks ago with Joe Vermillion, kind of like, here's what you want to do to participate in your first Nats. And I've been helping Chris produce the show for him on StreamYard just to help him have his hands free while he talks about what he's doing. And this is an amazing project. And his guest for tomorrow is Brett Becker, who is a Top Gun, a two-time Top Gun winner. And we actually have his U-2 spy plane that is currently in the National Model Aviation Museum. So, and well, there we go. Look how this is great. Look at that work right there. So yes, that beautiful model is in there. I got to see it a couple of weeks ago. Thank you so much, Brett, for donating it. But that'll be great to have Chris and Brett talk about what it is to, scale up your aircraft, specifically for competition. Do whatever you want for fun fly, but they look for details in this stuff. And again, I'm glad to be a part of it because I'm learning as well. So please do tune in and just go to the RC Geek on YouTube channel. I think we have the link here. There you go. So it's the @the Geek on youtube.com.
Yeah, and I got to tell you, there is no better person for him to have on that show than Brett. I'm actually really interested to watch because as talented as Chris Wolfe is when it comes to scale modeling, and as talented as Brett Becker is when it comes to scale modeling, the two of them having a conversation together, that's going to be a wealth of knowledge that nobody's going to want to miss out on. That U-2 spy plane that we have in the museum that Brett did, that won Top Gun, I think, 2 or 3 times. It's twice. Okay. It's immaculate. It is incredible. One of the things when he brought it in and was we were looking at it and I was taking some photos and we were getting some video of it. He said, if you look at the outside of that airplane, there's not a single control linkage anywhere on the external side of that plane. Everything's internal. You from the outside can't tell that that's a model except for the size. And he's absolutely right. It's immaculate. So that's going to be a fun one to watch.
And I've had the pleasure of meeting Brett when he came down to Bomber Field, but we also had him on the RC Roundtable podcast. So I encourage you to go to rcroundtable.com and scroll through. I actually don't remember how many episodes it goes. It's probably 2 years ago when we had him, but he was talking about the YouTube build and how much work went into, finding the right black paint,
Right.
stuff like that, taking pictures of one in museums and bringing it back down to the scale model. So again, it's 2 p.m. Central tomorrow on Chris Wolfe's YouTube channel.
Nice. I did see a comment. David had a question. He said, where was the speed record set? That was set in Poland. I would try to pronounce the town. I'm not going to embarrass myself by doing that. But it was in Poland at the World Championships. And you also asked what kind of engine did the speed guys use. That I don't have an answer for, but I'll do some digging and see if we can find out, and we'll update you on that on the next episode. We'll try to anyway. All right. So the next topic we want to talk about is SEFF. And Lee, I know you're going to SEFF. Is that right? Am I remembering that correctly?
Yes.
So why don't you tell folks what SEFF is for those that don't know?
Well, I'll bring up this page so those of you watching, go ahead and get on your browser, go to seffweek.com and bookmark it and, learn all about it. And I'll just tell you, this has been a bucket list for me for many, many years, based on all the comments I get from fellow pilots who say, oh, what a fun electric event. You got to go try it out at least once. It's always building, it's growing. And I had a chance to talk with Bob Bernard, who's currently running SEFF. He has for the past 7 to 8 years. And man, I tell you, I've said this over and over again. You have these conversations with pilots and you just suddenly feel like you're a long lost brother or something. And we just had these long conversations about it. And I have to say, full disclosure, I have never been to SEFF. So my eyes are still like all sparkly, glowy. And it's like this kid going to a candy store. And so I can't report about anything. And anything I say is just speculative and what I hear and all the wonderful photos I've seen. And I'm sharing a few right now on the screen here. But let me just tell you a little bit about SEFF. It's called the Southeastern Electric Flight Festival. And it's in Andersonville, Georgia. It was started 22 years ago by the Fayette Flyers. And the first year was so big, it was overwhelming. So they moved it to Mac Hodges Field. And I can tell you a long story about Mac Hodges and Hodges Hobby and about this huge family farm that they have. The good news is they still have it. They've been allowing people to come back every year. It keeps growing. And so this is their event. This is what they're known for. And what I liked to hear from Bob was that when Jeff Myers, the original coordinator of the event, went to see Neat Fair in New York, he said, we've got to bring that down to the South and put some Southern hospitality on it. I just love that. So that's where it has been ever since. And I'm going to run through a couple of questions I asked Bob, just to give you guys an idea of how he's sharing it, how this event goes. And, for the past 8 to 10 years, they've had well over 200 pilots show up. And that's amazing to me. I go to an event every year and it's about 100 pilots, maybe a little less. So I'm already eager to be around so many more pilots. But he says it is just fun. And I think I wrote down what he said here because I just loved how he mentioned it. He goes, we just want people to have fun. It's very relaxing. Bring what you got and hang out with fellow pilots enjoying the same hobby. I mean, you can't say it any better than that. It's exactly Absolutely. What it is. And again, I still love the Southern hospitality aspect. And one thing he added at the end of that was, we want people to bring their families and the young pilots to carry on their tradition. And I don't know how long it's been, but maybe since inception, any AMA member under 18, there's no pilot fee.
Oh, wow.
And because these are the people we want to keep coming back to the event over and over again. Now, Bob did mention to me, tongue in cheek, he goes, I don't want everybody to know about this. We can't have 500 people just showing up.
Hey,
too late. Sorry,
Bob. If you had 500 people under the age of 18 showing up to fly, That's not the worst problem in the world to have. My opinion, but.
I'm not bringing my kids this time. I got to dip my toes in it first, but hopefully I'll start bringing my kids. My son is going to Embry-Riddle for college. I don't know if I mentioned that to you, Matt, in Daytona. So we won't be too far. So hopefully he and I can meet up there, and that'll be kind of our little thing to do, in Georgia. But let me run off the other things real quick. It's go to SEFFweek.com to learn more. They already have 115 pilots registered. Most of the campsites are full, but they still have a few 20, 30 amp outlets, stations, I guess, campsites available. They have a lot of vendors, and I did tell Bob that I would mention that their top sponsors are Flex Innovation, Horizon Hobbies, and TGK Connectors. But he also wanted to give it a shout out to Atlanta Hobbies, Castle Creations, High Tech Futaba, JTA, Extreme Flight, JNE Aeroworks, JR Proman, and Home Depot. Now, guys, I'd like to touch on this for a second for those of you who have events. Home Depot. Most of the time we're looking for RC vendors, but he said Home Depot was very good at providing them with some raffle items for this event. Wow. Get with your local community businesses, guys, and ask them for help. And just the names I ran off, that is a lot. And I can imagine the raffle or the giveaways are amazing there. They do have some contests. I'm not going to go through all of them. Some of them sound a little weird, but they said they have tons of gaggles. It's just very simple, relaxed. Come out and have fun. And by the way, as you expect, I will be doing a lot of content while I'm out there. Look at that group of flyers right there. Hello, guys.
That's amazing.
I'll see y'all soon. It's a couple of weeks, April 24th through the 29th. And I will do some live shows out there. I have two fellas that I'll be hanging out with, Joshua Orchard and Damon Dag Atwood. In fact, I'll be sitting right next to Dag and told him I'd do a lot of content for him as well. You record videos for him because he had a video plane. I don't know if you guys saw it already. That huge yellow and blue plane.
MSL. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It popped up a few minutes ago. Yeah.
That's got some fun stories behind it. Some of you might be able to talk about that. There's a pilot figure in there that's kind of concerning. And look at that sunset shot. Thanks, Matt, for the laugh.
Yeah, you're welcome. I mean, all these photos that you've been sharing of SEFF, the field that they're flying at, it's just gorgeous. I wish I was going. Quite frankly, it looks like an amazing time.
Well, I will tell you guys more. So stay tuned. Follow us on our YouTube and Facebook page, and look for any live shows that I might be producing. I hope to sit down with Bob and while we're sitting there chatting and flying planes, we can talk about what's happening out there. And by the way, there are tons. I want to give a shout out to RC groups. Tons of posts about SEFF out there. So if you want to go look for more, just go to the search button on RC groups, type in SEFF as a title, search the title, and then have fun. There are just so many photos, and I hope some of you who are watching, listening right now, have attended. Tell us more about what you do. How many planes? I got my list of planes to bring is just this long, and I've got to narrow it down. Even though I'm bringing my trailer, I want to bring everything, but I know I got to bring it down to just a few. So
what's if there's one that will absolutely make the list and has to come with you? What's it going to be?
Funny. Terry and I had this conversation. Terry Dunn, my co-host of Varsity Roundtable, we had this conversation, and he helped me out. He goes, "Well, you got to bring a Thunder and Lightning, which is one of my little park foamies that I have designed. But I'm also going to bring a P-38. So it could be this JR Models P-38. This is one of my favorite flying models. It's electric, but I also have a large Flightline RC P-38. So P-38s is definitely in there. But I'm also thinking, and this was Terry's suggestion for those of you who like to do glider stuff, looking at bringing my Piper Pawnee, my Hangar 9 Piper Pawnee that has a tow hook on it.
Oh, nice.
To do some aero tow out there, because I don't know if I saw any photos of people doing that, but I think that'd be fun to do some glider aero tow out at SEFF.
Which I don't think you see a ton of at fun flies like this. So I think, why not show that off and maybe expose some folks to that side of the hobby that they may not know a whole lot about.
Hey, speaking of which, did you happen to catch Fitz's video, Fitz Walker, and the Mini MOA video that we produced for Model Aviation?
Matter of fact, I did, yeah.
So if those of you go to the Model Aviation Facebook page, the cover photo for that is Fitz Walker's Mini MOA that he did a review for. He's on the cover of the latest Model Aviation issue, and I was honored to be his co-pilot to Aerotow, the mini MOA. The first flight was a little hairy. You can watch the video. It was a little awkward, but working with Fitz, we both got it under control, and it was a lot of fun. So if you haven't tried Aerotow, give it a try. Get some friends.
That's awesome. I love soaring. I've never done an Aerotow or anything like that, but I don't know. Maybe we'll have to try some of that stuff out when you come up for the Nats this summer.
You bet. You bet.
Well, that brings us to the club of the month for the month of April. As you guys know, every month we have a brand new club that we like to showcase, and they are our club of the month. And Lee, who do we got for the month of April?
So we have the Holly Springs Skyhawks, Charter 5291 in North Carolina. And what I like about this club is that they worked with their local parks and recreation for their town to provide them with some land. It's a little awkward for parking. I'm going to touch on this just so you guys know. They have to park across the street from where the field is. But what I love about it is that doesn't seem to bother them one bit. The fact is they got this beautiful land, huge area, a contract with the town that is, I don't know the cost, but it seems like it's very reasonable. Let's just use that, okay? And there are just tons of pilots out there. And we've actually had the president, Doug Leroy, as one of our AMA member snapshots. So I like that I've built this relationship with him and how he's telling me what they're trying to do to save the hobby. So this is what they do. They started this club back in 2015, and it has been building ever since. So if you guys are near Holly Springs, North Carolina, give this club a visit. And if you look at your screen right now, there is a video link. They have a great YouTube channel, by the way. So again, a little shout out to our club members here, or club board members. This is a great feature. They added a how to get to our club video. This is how you welcome new members to your club. You say, here's how you get there. Oh, thank you for putting that up. Bryce, you're awesome. Or was that you, Matt?
Nope, not me.
That was our new guy, Bryce. Shout out to Bryce. And I love this. So you'll see how they talk about where you park, you go across the street, and then fun ensues. And another thing is that I'll end with is they do a charity called Wings Over Spring Charity Electric Fly-In that benefits Meg's Smile. And I saw photos from this event, and wow, just tons of vendors, tons of people. It's definitely a town thing. And so I encourage all of you to consider, working with your parks and recreation, seeing if there's a charity that you guys can help out and get people to come out and enjoy this hobby.
Yet another amazing club that we're so happy we can showcase here on the show, and that's what having this Club of the Month program is all about, is showcasing all of these amazing clubs that do so much great work in their community and around their areas, just like the Holly Springs Skyhawks do. So we appreciate that, and we congratulate them for becoming April's Club of the Month. If you guys want to learn more about that club or find a club in your area, you can also head over to modelaircraft.org/clubs, where you can use our club finder to find a club in your area. Yeah, that's fantastic. Fantastic stuff. All right, so the cover photo, that's something else we got to do every episode, is announce our cover photo winner for the iFly AMA Facebook group. If you guys are not yet a member of the iFly AMA Facebook group, head on over to facebook.com/groups/iFlyAMA and join this awesome community of modelers that are just sharing so many great tips, tricks, information, videos, you name it. We've got all that stuff there, so come join in on the fun. And our winner for the month of April, so this is the photo that will be the cover photo all month long, is Daryl Selvage's F-18. You see right there on your screen. So congratulations to Daryl for winning this month's cover photo contest.
Very nice. And we had a few entries. We need more, guys. And one of the entries is from my buddy Michael, who had a couple more likes than Daryl's. Okay. And Michael, I love you that you send photos, but you send them all the time. So I wanted to give some love to our other submitters. So Daryl, thank you for sharing this, because it's definitely a great photo. But I encourage everyone out there, start sending us your photos so you can share them with the other people that have similar interests. And there are some really neat aircraft and photos, by the way, out there.
Yeah, we get some amazing entries. We really do. Some of the talent we have out there, it's not just talented pilots. We got some really talented photographers out there too, so we appreciate seeing all of your guys' pictures. And again, congratulations to Daryl for becoming the cover photo contest winner for the month of April. Lee, I'm going to lean on you for this one because this is Volunteer Month. April is designated as Volunteer Month, nationally, and our hobby is one of those that really lends itself to having so many volunteers that dedicate their time, dedicate their craft to bettering and furthering this hobby. I know that you've done a lot of volunteer work yourself. You've worked with a lot of volunteers. I mean, what does volunteerism mean to this hobby in your mind?
Well, the only complaint I have is they have it for Volunteer Month, but it needs to be volunteer every day. And it sounds kind of corny, but is this at Expo? It sure is. Yeah,
it was. Yes.
Yeah. And although I don't have my photo, I should have given you my photo of when we volunteered for SAE Aero Design in Fort Worth, because we had similar vests. Don't hit the volunteers, right? Avoid the volunteers at all costs. But this is kind of a reminder. And we'll be saying this a lot in social media, go out there and help. And just like the Club of the Month who does this charity event, that's volunteering your time. Go out there and help your local parks. Talk to your schools. See if there's any work that you can do as far as your group, your entire club membership, to go out and help kids. Even if you go out there and do a sample, rocket day, model airplane day, just to have fun with them and letting them learn more about it. But also with your community. And I want to give a shout out right now because I know out there we have some suffering community members in Mississippi, in Arkansas, maybe even Indiana. I think you guys had tornadoes, and there are people dealing with massive cleanup. I'm seeing a lot of it flood my social media videos of people just trying to recover. That is an awesome charity right now that you can go do. So check with your local community, see what you guys can do as your club to go help these people in need.
Yeah, absolutely. And here's the thing, guys. You can do more than just volunteer at your club field. As you see this photo we have on screen now, this is Greg Prater and Don Sancanetti, who both volunteer over at our National Model Aviation Museum, helping to build the different exhibits and restore airplanes. There's all sorts of stuff that those types of volunteers do as well. So there's some really creative ways that people can get involved and volunteer their time and their talents to this hobby. So it means a lot to certainly to me and to the AMA to see so many people get involved so often and so selflessly. So it's nice to be able to celebrate them by having a National Volunteer Month. But it should be volunteer year. It should be all year round as far as I'm concerned.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And if you guys do any volunteer work that you encourage other clubs to try, put it in the comments, whether it's live right now or if you see this video later. Let us know what other volunteer methods you recommend, especially that could work with club members, those who have those skills, building skills and so forth.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, one other way that you can get involved in helping advance different programs within the hobby is to support the AMA Foundation. And we wanted to let you guys know that the AMA Foundation is launching a campaign drive that started on April the 1st to try to encourage folks to become torchbearers. If you're not familiar with our Torchbearer program, the Torchbearer program is where you can donate monthly. You can set up a monthly giving situation. If you've signed up for Netflix or you've signed up for some other streaming service, you understand the concept of subscribing and every month some money comes out that you designate. The Torchbearer program is the exact same way. And on April 1st, they launched the 2023 Torchbearer Drive, and your monthly donations can really make an impact and a lasting difference in supporting the Foundation's programs and initiatives in the lives of model aviation enthusiasts, helping to preserve, sustain, and promote our hobby for the next generation. And there are some really cool things that you get as part of being a torchbearer when you sign up. You can choose the fund of your choice and pick the give monthly option, choose the amount you wish to give, and finish with your payment information. It's super easy. You can do that by heading over to modelaircraft.org/passthetorch. You see that URL there on your screen. And with some of the cool goodies that you get with becoming a torchbearer, including a really awesome fleece blanket with the AMA Foundation logo embroidered on it, and a hat and a mug. There's some really cool things that are going to be, there's something that's going to be given away as part of this most recent drive. If you sign up to become a torchbearer between April the 1st and May 27th, you will also be entered into a giveaway to win an amazing leather aviator jacket. It was actually donated by AMA President Rich Hansen, and those new torchbearers will receive one entry for every dollar that they pledge to give each month. So, for example, if you donate or if you pledge to give $15 per month to the Torchbearer program, you'll get 15 entries. And you can find more details about this giveaway over on the webpage as well. So we want to thank all of you guys that are already Torchbearer supporters. And we hope you guys that aren't will go give it a look and see if maybe that's something you'd like to take part in. Again, modelaircraft.org/passthetorch for more information.
I'm going to tack onto that. I am a torchbearer, and I like that I'm continuing the Foundation's hard work. But we recently posted this on our Facebook page.
Yeah.
That disaster relief grants are part of what we do.
That's right.
And also, I think I'm going to scroll up here because his name just drove by. Conrad posted in chat that they had some issues with their field getting too wet, and so obviously we had the same problem here with the Salinas Area Modelers Club, and that they requested a disaster relief grant. So this is what we want to do. We want to help our clubs help each other. So
yeah, I mean, and that's exactly the kind of stuff that those dollars that go to the foundation help support. The disaster relief grants, the takeoff and grow grants that you hear us talk about, flying site improvement, AMA scholarships is funded by the AMA Foundation. All of those things are programs that those foundation dollars support and really do make a difference, a real difference in day-to-day lives of folks who are members and all around the country that love this hobby. So I would encourage you guys to go check it out, and if you have the means and can, and I would encourage you to consider supporting the AMA Foundation. All right, Lee. I think we did it. I think we covered it all. Do you have anything left on your notes and agenda?
Well, just wish me luck. Wish me luck that I figure out what I'm going to bring, that I pack my trailer accordingly. I'm going to end with this note. You've done shout outs for my mom in the past. I appreciate that. But I wanted to tell you what was really cool is that because of my trip to Atlanta, I just happened to be driving through where her sisters live. So my wife came up with this great idea. It's like, why don't you take your mom and drop her off, with her sisters? You go to SEFF and then come back and pick her up. And I was like, brilliant. So I think that's great. So I'm killing two birds with one stone. I'm dropping off my mom, letting her have a vacation. I'm going to go have fun flying models, and I can tell her all about it when we come back to Houston.
Fantastic. Well, Lee, thank you again for joining me and helping me out with today's show. As always, it's been a blast. I want to thank all of you guys out there for watching us live. If you aren't watching live, I would encourage you to try to do so. It's a great time in the chat, and you can ask your questions, and we'll try to get to those as we can. And if you're watching after the fact, leave us a comment, tell us how you like the show. And hopefully you can join us the next time. So for all of us here at the AMA, I want to thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you on the next episode of AMA Air. Have a great one.